What's up, guys? My name is Ethan, and this is the Financial Game Plan, where I walk you through my financial journey, my plans, my goals, where I'm at now, and everything that I learn along the way, along with whatever I can teach you along the way. Personal finance is something that I've gone really deep into, and I think this is a perfect starting point for myself on my journey, as we aren't as well off and a lot more relatable to the common people, and you can really see my journey, where I started and where I can end up. Um, but the main thing I wanted to talk about in this video was my financial goals for 2026, my outlook, and how I plan to get there. So, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy my content. And please subscribe if you do and want to learn a little bit more about personal finance along the way and want to follow on my journey. All right, we can hop straight into our finances for 2026 and what our outlook is and some of the goals we have. So this dashboard is something that I've created from scratch. It's something that I've spent a lot of time and energy on, and I've had a lot of fun making it actually. But to go over our first goal, it is setting up an emergency fund of up to 3 months of expenses built. Now, the financial people will say that it's 3 to 6 months of expenses is what you need in your savings account to handle any expenses that may come up, or like a job layoff or anything like that. Most of Americans do not have this, and I think this is something that needs to be a priority on my list. Right now, you can see I only have $1,000 in savings, and this will be something that I continue to try and grow throughout the year. Heading straight back into goal number two, it is my net worth going to green. Now, this is something that will just feel good. This is more of a psychological barrier. As you can see right now, I have negative $11,000 as my net worth. That means my life is worth money, worth no money. I have way more debt than I have assets, which is a little disheartening, but it's something that will feel very good when that flips over to green. And I love that as a second goal because it's very achievable for this year, and it's something that really kind of signifies that I'm moving in the right direction. Now, net worth isn't something that can pay for food or rent over your head, but it will kind of build that security that if something happens, I'm moving in the right direction and I can handle anything that really comes up. The next thing I wanted to do was fully contribute to my Roth IRA for 2025 and 2026. So currently I have about 4,600, a little bit more than that. That's how much I have invested, contributed to my 2025 Roth IRA. In February, I plan to finish off 2025, and then I want to contribute to my 2026 fully. And I think this is a good first step in investments. I think Roth IRA, outside of your contribution match, it really is the first investing milestone that you want to hit because of the tax advantages that come from it. And as long as I can contribute to my Roth IRA, I want to completely max that out. And that's just something that you won't be able to get back. So, like, once the 2025 year window closes, which is April 15th, tax day, I can never go back and contribute to it. So, it's something that I want to make sure that I'm doing every single year to keep myself consistent in investing and growing that fund. So, that's goal number three. Hopping into goal number four is increasing my gross income to over 75,000 at my main job. Now, this will be a big milestone for me, and I think it's something that's very achievable. Right now I'm at 68,000, and my company is very contribution motivated. So I think this is something where, as I keep growing my skills, growing my contributions, getting better adapted into my office, this is something that will just build. I can't guarantee that I'll get over 75,000. I just think it'd be a cool goal to hit, a nice number to hit. Now, I don't think this is the end all be all number that like I could go higher, I could go lower. It really depends on how well I do, and I think I'm moving in the right direction, but this is kind of a nice little goal to set for myself, to where if I don't see any improvement through like midway through the year, what can I do to improve that? And it will be a nice goal to keep me motivated at work. The next thing is no new debt created. So right now I have $21,000 in debt, and that is all student loans. So the big thing that could come up that I am worried about is auto loans. Now, if you look over here at my depreciating assets, I have a 2007 Grand Prix with 230,000 miles on it. Now, I've taken good care of this Grand Prix, so I think it can last quite a while longer. But when you get that high in miles, you really never know what could happen next. So it's a little worrisome. But if I can get through the year with no new debt created and possibly a car upgrade, that would be a huge step for me. And then the last thing is my side income being over $5,000. Now I have something already set up that will pay me around 3,200. So that will have handle a big chunk of that, and that just comes from an extra side gig that I picked up and wanted to do. And even though that's not the best paying side gig, I think it will be a lot of fun, and it's just something that I'm very passionate about. So I'm not too worried about it not being the best paying side gig. But I can find other ways to make that 5,000 goal. Right now, I'm taking my CFA level 1, and so there's not a ton of time for me to work on this side income. I don't expect YouTube or TikTok or anything to blow up. It'd be really cool if it did, but I don't expect it to. So I can't really expect money to come from that. So I'll have to keep working around this and seeing other ways to fill that 5,000, and I'll have a bunch more time after May when I take that CFA level 1 exam until the rest of the year, because I won't be starting level 2 until next year if I do end up doing level 2. Now I think we can jump into my net worth, how it's built out, and then we can go over future outlook and what the plan is for 2026 to achieve a lot of these goals. All right, heading straight into our net worth and how it's built out. As you can see, we are net negative in our net worth currently, but that will change hopefully throughout this year. And we'll go over some of that with our simulator next. But for now, this is what our accounts look like. Right now in our 401k match, we have about $1,400. That will continue to grow. And my contribution match actually gets increased in, I think it's May or June. So we'll see this start to grow even faster, which will be very big for me. And I'm really excited about that. The next thing is the Roth IRA. We already talked about hitting both limits for 2025 and 2026. I plan to hopefully be able to get it fully contributed to in February, at least the 2025 one. And then 2026, we will have the full year to show the growth. And then in my checking account right now, I have $215. Now, this is already included what's on my credit card. I don't have any like outstanding debt, but I use my credit cards and then pay them off every statement. So I'll never have like extra debt. It's the net between what's in my checking. So I actually have more in my checking right now than 215, but I haven't paid out all my credit cards. So this is what's left over. And then I just set up a high yield savings account. I did a ton of research into what I wanted and what worked best for me. I think my top two came down to Barclays and SoFi. High yield savings account is something that definitely want to research and see what works best for you. But I landed on Barclays. I got that set up actually yesterday, and will contribute to this throughout the year, and hopefully we'll get to that 5,000 plus sum in savings, which will be very exciting. But I'm glad I got that set up and working now. And then the last thing for my assets is my vehicle equity. Now, if you notice, my net worth's actually worse in that by month, and that's because I'm including my depreciating assets into my net worth dashboard because that's what I want to see with my own finances. But if we want to look at more of a liquid side of my true accounts, this is what I see. And the reason I'm including my vehicle equity is because I could always go to a dealership and get that $600. That's it's not super liquid. It's not like I can just pull it out of an account, but I know the car's worth and am able to do that if need be. So I'm including it into my assets for this. And then, like I mentioned earlier, my liabilities includes just student loans, 21,000 to pay off throughout the year, which rounds out to about $13,000 negative net worth. Whew. Got a long way to go throughout the year, but I'm really excited to see how this will look in January of 2027 and the growth that we could have. I think it's going to be really fun to look at this little chart where you're going to see this debt go down, assets go up, and when they cross, you'll see this cross zero. It's going to be really cool. I can't wait. But now I think we can jump into our outlook with this simulator I built out. Now, the problem with this simulator is that it is not very accurate. There's a lot of things that go into it that you can't really account for. So this doesn't account for any side income I create. It doesn't account for any raises I have, any unexpected expenses if my car breaks down or a medical emergency happens. This doesn't account for big market fluctuations. Say investments go down like 20% and it's a huge crash, or they go up 10%, or they go up 15%, or they just stay steady. So this accounts for kind of a little bit of a balanced outlook, but it's not super accurate of what will actually happen. So this is just kind of an estimate, I guess, to see what will happen. And so what I did is I put my starting values in over here. Why is this even lower? What's missing here? So it has my investments, has my savings. Oh, so it's even lower because it doesn't have my checking and vehicle equity. So it will take even longer on the simulator for my net worth to pay off. But basically what I did was put my monthly income, my monthly expenses, what I plan to contribute to my debt, what I plan to contribute to my investments, and then my savings. Now, this will be a little different because in February, I will be doing a big push to get my Roth IRA completely invested. So all of this will go to straight to that instead of what it is now. But you'll see in March a more consistent style of savings, debt, investments, or debt payments and investments grow at the same rate like you see here. But just looking throughout the year, this has my net worth going green in September, has my savings reaching that 5,000 milestone in September as well. It has my debt going down to about 15K at the end of the year. And then my investments reaching 15K as well. Now, this will be very different. So, like I mentioned earlier, this doesn't account for any side income or raises. And there's $3,000 in side income that I already am expecting. And it also doesn't account for any of my 401k contributions. And so with that increasing, like I mentioned in the net worth by month, my investments will go up quite a bit more, and we can expect my net worth to cross that zero even sooner. And I'm thinking that another side income may occur in month 3 around March from my tax return, because of my taxable income should be decreased based on the payments I made to my student loans. Or, sorry, that's not correct. The payment I did for my classes this year or this past year. So I'm expecting a refund, I hope at least. But I'm not banking on it. So it's just something that you can be hopeful for, I guess, for me. Um, but yeah, I mean, this shows a pretty good outlook for what I'm expecting. This has me reaching all my goals. And what's really cool about this is I can expect it to be even better as long as something catastrophic doesn't happen to either my mindset, um, or my health, or one of my assets that are very needed. I like how this year would turn out if it ended with these amounts, and I would be really, really excited about it. I think something that could be a little worrisome is I mean, I'm already kind of questioning my car's capabilities by the end of the year, only having 7,000 and needing probably a new car at that point would be a little worrisome, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, I'm very happy with where we are. I think we have a good game plan. And as long as we hit these goals that I set for myself on the first slide, the budget dashboard, I think we will be very set up for the future. And I'm really excited in what we can do this year and the growth we can have. And I'm hoping that this channel is something that I can really document where I'm going and see if we're actually staying consistent with it. Another thing that I think would be really cool is just, I don't want to say lessons because I'm not some guru, but I think I can help out a lot of people who are maybe not as interested in personal finance, where one of my short videos could very easily help them make a change in their financial life. I really hope that I can help people do this. That is my real goal. Showing people what you can do if you put your money where it should be correctly. So thank you guys for watching this video on my finances, my future outlook, my goals, what I plan to accomplish this year, and how I plan to get there. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can take a lot from my channel this year. Hopefully a lot of growth from me, from yourselves, maybe some learning along the way. And even if you can teach me some things, maybe there's something that you think I'm doing wrong, that could be very helpful for me as well. But thank you for watching. If you are still here and made it this far, it's been a pleasure being really vulnerable with you, because I know money is something that's not very talked about, especially if you're not doing extremely well. Like, obviously, the most wealthy people talk about money, but how often does someone who's maybe not as well off talk about it? Now, I'm very blessed with my situation. I think where I'm at right now is such a good base. And trust me, I'm so grateful for that. But I think there's a long way to go for me to be financially comfortable. And I think that same is true for a lot of America. So I'm really hoping to help out and point people in the right direction. Now, it's hard to take advice from someone who is not in the best spot, but that's kind of what's cool about this is you can go on my journey and see, hey, I'm not in the best spot right now, but where am I in 2 years? Am I in a much better spot? Then maybe what I am doing is working. So thank you guys for watching once again. I hope you enjoyed, and stick around, subscribe if you like this type of content and you want to see how my journey goes and if I'm able to do what I say I'm going to do. So thank you, thank you again. See ya.